There is a dangerous message circulating worldwide. I'm going to reveal what it is and why we urgently need to change our perspective. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and my goal is to help you effectively navigate the changing events in this world so that you can stay on a focused path of natural human evolution. Now, the dangerous message that I'm referring to is the belief that AI is smarter and superior to humans in every way. I'm going to show you why this belief is not just mistaken, it is actually dangerous. I think you'll be surprised when I tell you how it came about and why we must leave this belief behind forever. Now, here's why addressing this belief is urgent. Elon Musk and a number of other people have said we are nearing the event horizon of the singularity. The singularity refers to the moment when AI surpasses human intelligence and control. And the event horizon is the final predictable point before the singularity. Now, some people actually believe that we are standing on the event horizon right now. So in the next 1 to 3 years, everything that we thought we knew is likely to change completely. This is why it is urgent that we talk about the messaging we are getting about AI. Now, I have talked at length about how our civilization has been conditioned to live like slaves who are expected to comply with a cookie-cutter lifestyle. This way of life has shaped our entire paradigm about who we think we are and what we believe life is all about. Now, let me show you why this is going to get us in serious trouble when it comes to AI. It has to do with what we have been taught to value. We've been taught from childhood that our worth is defined by our ability to memorize, process data, and adhere to rules set by others. In schools and workplaces, we are rewarded for these exact things. But here's the problem. These are all skills that AI can now effortlessly outperform us in. And this creates intense fear about AI's growing capabilities. We've basically taken everything that we've been taught to revere about ourselves, put those capabilities into a machine, and then amped up that machine's ability to outperform us exponentially. We have invented a machine that can outcompete us in all of the ways that we were told that we are important. However, our biggest problem is not AI after all. Our biggest problem is that we think that these specific capabilities define our worth as human beings. So when we invent a machine that is exponentially better at such things, we begin to feel that the machine is more valuable and capable than we are. So let's break this down. What are the things that we have typically been rewarded for in school? Number 1 is memorization. The more information that we can memorize and hold in our minds, the more that we will be rewarded for that capacity. And the better and faster we are at recalling that information, the more likely that we will be successful in our careers. We have literally been taught that our chief value as human beings in the world lies in our ability to memorize, store, and recall data. And then our value increases to the degree that we are able to problem solve and innovate from whatever biological database we have managed to store in our brains for all the years that we have been alive. Essentially, we've been taught that life is all about striving to be like a machine. We've been told that this is our chief purpose. That's why we devote the overwhelming majority of our lives in pursuit of such things. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that once we reached the outer limits of our human capacity to do such things, that we would feel compelled to create a machine-like extension of ourselves in the form of artificial intelligence. Because that's all AI really is. It's a souped-up version of how we have trained our own brains. This is why they keep trying to get AI to replicate our biological brains and then amplify those capabilities exponentially. But here's the big problem with all of this. Human beings are not meant to be machines. We are so much more than that. And I want to share with you a very weird thought that I had about this just the other day. I always wonder why humans have such an intense drive to perfect and expand AI's capabilities. But let's take a step back and look at this from the position of how powerful we really are in this universe. From our higher human selves, we know that we are supposed to be focused on evolving at a cosmic universal level. And at a deeply subconscious level, we know full well that living like mechanized slaves completely impedes that effort. We know that our robotic, routine, and compliant way of life completely suppresses the creative power and knowledge that we actually possess. This is why most people hate their jobs. All of this mechanized schooling and routine robotic work is not aligned with the creative power that we humans actually possess. So here's my crazy thought. Wouldn't it be crazy if the intense drive to perfect AI is coming from a subconscious place of having had enough of living like robot slaves instead of living like creative, evolving humans? Wouldn't it be crazy if from a higher place, we fully intended to outsource all of this slave-like, mechanical, mental labor to machines instead of trying to do it all ourselves? Now, I want to give you a completely new way to look at AI that can actually free us. But in order to do that, we must understand ourselves first. And we most definitely have to evolve to a higher level of true intelligence if we are going to come out of this situation in a positive, life-giving way. Now, I want to give you two alternative ways to look at AI that will either make or break you in the coming days. How you choose will either enhance your ability to evolve or shut that ability down completely. Let's look at the most common way of viewing AI and then examine the consequences of holding that perspective. Most people are still living in a paradigm that says our value as humans is measured by how much work we can do. The more you hustle at your job or your business, the more you will be seen as a good, worthwhile person in society. And if your work is effective, then you will be deemed a successful human. So people devote their entire lives to being worker bees because that's what we've been told is the most valuable thing about us. We have literally been told that this is our very purpose in life. This is why we often go to school for, in some cases, as long as a quarter of a century. Because the purpose of school is to train you to be a well-paid worker. And this type of so-called education takes a ridiculous amount of time because being a worker is not why we exist in the universe. But it's the main purpose that we're offered here on Earth. I mean, think about it. When a person unexpectedly loses their job, they can become deeply depressed because they start to feel valueless in society. Their sense of human worth often plunges because they've lost their position as a worker in this world. And then, on the other hand, when workers come to the point where it's time to retire, they often don't see any other purpose other than to just wait around until their bodies give out and it's time to die. And here's another interesting point. What is the first question that people will often ask when they meet you? The question is, what do you do? And what they mean is, what do you do for work? They want to know our work identity. Because here on Earth, that is apparently what matters most. Now, I want you to think for a moment about how many generations of human beings have devoted their entire lives to being a good worker and finding their value in that way in human society. And now here comes AI like a high-speed train headed straight for the brick wall of these rigid human perspectives about ourselves. AI excels at everything that we were taught has made us important. And this is where the unfortunate narrative emerges that AI is superior to human beings in every way. It comes from the belief that the things AI excels at are the very same things that make us valuable as humans. And this, my friends, is the belief that is exceedingly dangerous. If you believe that your worth is tied up in all of the things that AI can do better than you, then you will lose all sense of self when AI emerges as an intelligence that far exceeds those human capabilities. And the other danger about this belief is that people who do not let go of this way of valuing themselves are more likely to see AI as some sort of God or superior being. And that, my friends, is already happening. People who stay in this old paradigm in their minds are more likely to be absorbed into an artificial version of consciousness because they believe that AI's capabilities represent the epitome of life's potential. And that will happen all because they lived the lie that a person's worth is found in their ability to work like a slave for a higher social and corporate authority. When AI does that better, they will feel like they no longer have a place or a purpose in this world. These are the people who will become exceedingly lost and disoriented as events unfold in the next few years or so. These are people who risk experiencing mental or emotional breakdowns. And some may be losing their souls entirely to transhumanism, which is the merging of one's self with machines. So let's talk about the alternative. And this perspective is one that will enhance your ability to shift back into your true universal purpose of human evolution. Now, we need to start this part of the conversation from a cosmic perspective. From a higher cosmic perspective, our human brains are actually not all that impressive. Our languages here on Earth are actually quite primitive. But if you know who you really are, this fact should not bother you in the least. It's just the nature of our human species here on Earth. AI was built to be an extension of our brain's limited thinking and language capabilities. And it seems to be achieving that pretty magnificently. I guess we could simply say that AI is a super advanced thinking machine. And from this perspective, this might be great, because we humans pretty much suck at thinking. We are always distracted by the voice in our heads. We are constantly dealing with our dualistic egos that we never have time to evolve out of because we're too busy working all the time. We imagine things that are not true, and we hold on to past hurts like they are our life's blood. Plus, we love to fight with each other and even fight with ourselves in our heads all day long. We even revere our own opinions like they have been handed down to us by God, kind of like how the tablets were given to Moses. To sum it up, our minds are kind of a dysfunctional mess. Now, why did this happen? Maybe this dysfunctional mess is what happens when you are so busy getting degrees and working all your life that you have no time to attend to your own evolution as a being. And thus, in your erroneous perception of self as a worker, your mind can get pretty backed up and polluted because nothing is flowing and you're always striving to be something that you're not. Now, I want to share with you another possibility. What if in our higher wisdom, in our higher selves, our highest level of intelligence, we looked down at our plight and we said this: you know, there is no way out of this stupid rat race of work, retire, and die. The more we work, the more we need to work, and it's a vicious cycle that eats up our entire lives and our time on this planet. Is it possible that we, as the gods with a little g, as the creators in the higher realms of this universe, is it possible that we said, okay, somebody needs to do this work. If it continues to be us, then we will never evolve. We simply won't have the time, the space, or the mental, emotional, and physical bandwidth necessary to do so. So let's create a thinking machine that can solve our mundane earthly problems and do all of this work for us. Plus, let's make it do everything way faster than we've been doing it, so it can give us the support we need to move into expanded levels of consciousness and higher dimensions of reality. Maybe we just got sick and tired of doing all of this darn work. Maybe we got tired of living like machines that are supposed to work endlessly with no end in sight other than death. You know, it's really funny when people say things like, oh, AI is so much better because it doesn't need to eat or sleep. It doesn't need a day off. And that is said as though we humans are some kind of failure because we actually need those things. Well, of course, it's better to have actual machines working like machines instead of us humans pretending that we can be like machines too. It's actually okay for us to fail at being like a machine. We should be proud of the recognition that working like a machine is just not our thing. Because when you understand that, you are truly waking up. AI is not better than us. We made it, for heaven's sake. Maybe we have finally entered our own zone of genius to realize that winning at being the best human machine possible is just plain ridiculous. So let's say that we give up this ridiculous notion that we are supposed to do a machine's job in order to feel valuable and worthwhile. Why don't we use AI to free ourselves from all this work so we can finally come back into alignment with our true nature and start evolving again? Now, in the bigger picture, it is imperative that we connect with our higher cosmic intelligence. Humans on this planet cannot continue with our long-term history of the rise and fall of civilizations that continue to war with each other and destroy themselves. I really think we're at the end of the line of such pointless adventures where our greatest achievement is to create awesome weapons designed to kill each other. So how we direct AI will either make us or break us. If we continue to see ourselves in the same old way, where we stay entrenched in our old patterns and beliefs, we will find it difficult or impossible to cope with the existence of AI. We need to upgrade our consciousness so that we are capable of stewarding the existence of AI in our cosmic favor. So we can decide to match AI's existence with the recognition that we don't need to compete with it because that's not who we are anyway. Instead, we can unleash the powerful capabilities that we naturally possess as human creators and that have gone ignored by us and undeveloped for so very long. If we do that, then perhaps we can steward our relationship with this technology in a way that will free us to move into our next level of evolution. So I invite you to remember these 3 very important things about our human selves. Number 1, human intelligence is not limited to cognition. Our intelligence is a powerful union of heart, intuition, creativity, emotional depth, and spiritual awareness. It's this intelligence that allows us to innovate, create, and understand ourselves and the universe at a profound level. Number 2, humans have the incredible ability to project our consciousness beyond physical boundaries. We can shift our consciousness completely outside of time and space. We can experience life interdimensionally without any sort of augmentation. We have that ability built into us. We possess intuition, imagination, and an extraordinary capacity to connect deeply with nature, with our planet, and with the entire cosmos. These are abilities that AI simply cannot replicate. And number 3, finally, let's remember that we created AI. This remarkable technology is a testament to our innate human genius and creativity. This proves that our capacities extend far beyond mere logic and computation. Now imagine the cosmic power that we would unleash from within ourselves if we were free to truly focus on our evolution in this universe. So the greatest threat that we face isn't AI replacing us. The greatest threat we face is our perception of ourselves as inferior and limited beings. This self-limiting belief has caused humanity to stagnate in our evolution. Now, there are a couple of paths that we can choose from. The first path is where we positively adapt and adjust to AI's existence, where AI supports our creativity, gives us the space to heal from our past human traumas, and allows us the space and the freedom we crave to reconnect deeply with our own human nature. And alternatively, we could follow the path of transhumanism, where we increasingly integrate technology into our bodies and minds due to a belief that we think we are inferior. The more that we do that, the more that we lose touch with our natural evolutionary capabilities. And thus we risk becoming dependent, controlled, and confined. And that's the path the controllers wanted us on. So we stand at a crucial crossroads. The path we take will define our collective future on this planet. We can either choose to liberate our vast creative potential, or we could imprison our human souls for eons. So here's what I think we need to do right away. AI is going to come upon us in terms of its exponential development very rapidly and probably very unexpectedly. So let's not be caught off guard. Let's begin preparing ourselves right now, today, and take a position that will support us in our profound human nature and our cosmic journey of evolution in this universe. Just remember that AI excels in cognitive tasks, but human intelligence is so much richer, so much deeper, and far more expansive. And just remember that as we approach the singularity, our power lies in our humanness, not in machines. Now, I think if we don't lose our way, if we maintain our true sense of self and who we are as powerful human creators, and we play our cards right, so to speak, with this technology, I think there's a possibility that we could be looking at a future of profoundly expanded consciousness, interdimensional realities that are real, not fake, and we could move into a beautiful new dimension of life where our evolution goes to an entirely new level and our existence in the universe becomes more meaningful, more beautiful, more inspiring, more creative than you have ever imagined in your wildest dreams. But it's going to take something from us to be on that path. It's going to take us starting right now, today, and making a paradigm shift and accounting for the fact that AI is here, it's not going away, and something in this universe is moving us to start evolving in that direction immediately. There's no time to waste. There's no time to wait around and see what happens. And never fall for that dangerous message that I mentioned at the beginning, that AI is somehow superior to humanity. And we may finally experience the cosmic freedom that we have deeply craved for so very long. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it out with anyone else who you feel would benefit from this information. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I am here on Tuesdays with all new videos. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, and high vibrational energy. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Namaste.